Hello and welcome to the first episode of the My VA Talk series, a YouTube channel that is dedicated to providing valuable insights and game-changing strategies for virtual assistants and small business owners. My name is Goodness Nduluwe, your enthusiastic host, and with me today we have one of the most amazing humans in the whole world, Obianuju Ekugo.
Hi everyone, my name is Obianuju Ekugo. I am a certified executive assistant with well over 5 years experience providing seamless support for top level executives from different sectors ranging from telecommunication, health and tech. My expertise includes coordinating international tech events, streamlining workflows, facilitating high-level communication as well as project management. Thank you.
Get ready for inspiring stories, valuable insights, and a glimpse into the virtual assistant world. Whether you're an aspiring virtual assistant or just curious, hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell icon now so you don't miss any of our episodes. Let's jump right in. Hi, Obianuju. It's so good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Goodness, for having me.
We are going to go into the interview proper, and we'll start with our first question. Can you tell us how you started your virtual assistant career? How did you become a virtual assistant? What motivated you to become a virtual assistant?
Oh, okay. During COVID, I think a whole lot of people actually started to look at remotes when COVID hit. Right. So during COVID, I was still working with my previous company, but we started working remotely, and I kind of liked how it felt working from home at the moment, and I knew that definitely after COVID we were going back to the office, and I didn't want that. I actually loved working remotely. In as much as I loved working with my colleagues, I also liked everything that comes with working remotely. So I started looking at opportunities that can actually give me 100% ability to be able to work from home, and that was when I dabbled into virtual assistants and generally executive assistants.
I totally can relate to that because myself personally, I started working remotely after COVID because I'm sure a lot of people out there can relate as well. We know that COVID, it showed a lot of people that they are, like a lot of people lost their jobs. Most people that were working, on site, and a lot of people went into the world of, virtual assistants, and it has been amazing. Personally, I enjoy working from home, and I'm sure you also enjoy it as well.
Yeah, I do, and I also think like a lot of companies also saw the possibility of working remotely. Like I think before they didn't know that it was so possible for their employees to work seamlessly from home. So COVID hit, and we didn't have any other choice than to look for what would make us continue working even when we don't have to come to the office. So it also didn't just open the eyes of the employees. It also made the different companies realize that their employees can also work from home. So yeah,
exactly. So the next question we have here is, throughout your career, what are the key skills that has helped you in your virtual assistant journey?
All right, so I think working remotely, actually, you have to be open to learning a whole lot of things, because for you to be able to work from home that easily, you have to learn how to use different applications, different softwares, because that's the only way you would be able to deliver 100%. Aside from Microsoft Workspace products, these are the things that you should be able to know how to use easily for you to be able to dabble into the space of remote working. And also project management is something that almost every other company is looking at. So these tools, there are so many project management tools out there, ranging from Asana, there is ClickUp, there is Jira, there is Trello. So there is a whole lot of them. So you should just be open-minded when it comes to, moving with technology generally.
So from what I get from what you're saying is you need to be willing to learn. You need to learn because there's a lot of tools you need to learn. There's a lot of, like technologies that you need to move with the trend.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know, personally, I was telling my friend some time ago that when it comes between the tech tools, the technical skills and the soft skills, which would you choose if you were to be an employer? Between the technical skills and the soft skills, which would you really choose for a virtual assistant?
All right, that's actually a kind of funny question, because as a virtual assistant, you need to work with a whole lot of tools. But one thing I've come to understand is that for soft skills, there are things that are very somehow difficult for you to learn, right? But hard skills are things that you can easily, learn how to use them, which are mostly the applications that you'll be working with, right? So anybody can actually go online and learn how to use those things. But those soft skills are more like inbuilt. So it's kind of a bit harder for someone to learn soft skills than it is for the person to learn hard skills. So as an employer, I think I'm going to have to select somebody with soft skills more, and then we'll work towards, because obviously if you're going to employ somebody, there's always training. So we'll work towards incorporating that during training.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want to have a toxic employee. I mean, just because he has maybe over 100 years of experience and he knows how to use all the tools, and then you bring toxicity into your workplace. That is something you obviously do not want as an employer. Okay, so we are Nigerian virtual assistants. We work from Nigeria, and trust me, it has been one of them. There has been lots of challenges working as a Nigerian virtual assistant. So I would like you to share with us some of those challenges you have experienced as a Nigerian virtual assistant and how you've been able to overcome them.
Okay, generally, I think as a virtual assistant or someone working remotely, not just as a Nigerian person, I think generally a whole lot of people also have challenges working remotely. However, one of the major ones that relates to us here in Nigeria will have to be electricity, which is light. So when you don't have electricity to be able to charge up your device, obviously you're not going to be connected. And also, and another thing, which is talking about connection, will have to be the internet, So we have different internet providers in the country, but we are not getting like 100% of the value. We don't really get a value of the money we're spending trying to subscribe to these different providers we have here. So those are the major challenges we have. Imagine being in the middle of a meeting and then you're being cut off because the internet is shitty. So yeah, those are the things we get to experience being as a remote worker in Nigeria.
Exactly. I mean, tell me about that electricity and internet connections. Like, I can't count how many times I've actually regretted. Like, there are days you get so frustrated with the meetings. I mean, it keeps kicking you out of meetings, out of important. Imagine the previous meeting I was having with dignitaries. I mean, from the governor's office in the United States. And then it just cut me off. Oh my God. And I was recording. Jesus Christ. How embarrassing is that?
I totally understand that, because it has happened to me a couple of times. It's just that, and for somebody that likes giving 100%, you don't really feel comfortable with those things. And for somebody that don't like giving excuses, imagine when you're just in the middle of the meeting and you are the person. Imagine if you're co-hosting a meeting and then they kick you out because of internet, or you are in a meeting and then the electricity company try to take their light and everywhere is dark, so those kind of things. So yeah, it's embarrassing, I must say.
Exactly, it is embarrassing, and I honestly wish there would be solutions. Please, we need electricity 24/7. When is Nigeria going to get to the stage where we can boast of at least, let me just say, 16 hours electricity every day?
The thing is, we are hoping they could do better, but I had to look for alternatives because I wouldn't want to be giving those excuses. So I also tried to invest to the use of inverters. I tried to get laptop chargers. So know I have a backup, get internet providers, like 2-3 different internet providers on standby. So I know I have a backup. If anything should happen to the main one I'm using, I can easily switch. So these are the ways I've been able to manage the challenges we face in Nigeria generally.
Yes. On to our next question, which is interesting, by the way. How do you, as a virtual assistant, ensure you meet your clients' expectations? Because every client has an expectations for you as a virtual assistant. So how do you ensure you are not falling short of those expectations?
Okay. So one of the things, like I mentioned earlier, I had to, I already know the challenges I'm going to face, the things that can make me to deliver. So I try as much as possible to make sure that I'm eliminating those things before it comes to working for the clients, right? And also, I try to have my discovery calls with the clients to know what they want. I have, a lot of questions I put down for each client, although some of them you have to, try to come up with questions based on their preference and their choices, right? So I always do that when it comes to working with each client or different clients. I try to understand what they want. So I make sure that I also give them the ability to be able to review if it's something that I need to work on. I give them the ability to review and give me a feedback if what I did at any point is what they actually want. And then with that, I also try to keep communication open. You know, when you communicate a lot with clients, you get to understand and know what they want, and with that you should be able to deliver 100%.
Exactly, and that is why you should have a customer avatar. You should know the kind of client you want to work with, because you cannot actually work well like that with every client. There is a client for you, and if you get a toxic client, you know, it's not going to work out. Trust me, you're going to die before your time. Your life is going to be frustrated. So you need to you don't have to settle for all clients. Make sure that there is, you know, your goals align. If there's an alignment in that goals, you know that you are going to, when you are having that discovery call, there is something that relates, you can relate to between the both of you, and you have communications open. There is nothing you cannot solve without communications, even if you are having any issues. And that's why it's good to have a good client. You know, they should be able to understand you, and you should be able to understand them. You know, when you have this relationship, this personal relationship with your clients, it is easy for you to give them your best.
Exactly.
I have a client that I am very thankful for, who understands sometimes that boss baby, that's what she calls my baby. She calls my baby boss baby. You know, she needs attention. So there are meetings that she would excuse me because she knows I need to take care of my baby. But I can never give anything less than 100% to her, because she's giving you that freedom, that flexibility. She trusts you.
Yeah.
You know, she's going to assign this task, and she knows she's going to handle it.
To deliver.
And it's because of you've proven yourself.
Yeah.
Because you have to prove yourself for them to give you. You know, you can't keep making excuses, falling short, and all of those things. So I totally understand where that is coming from. So, and I hope anyone who's listening to this is really taking notes and with the gems that we are sharing with us today. So our next question for you is, considering that remote work has made job hunt a lot easier. I mean, most Nigerians don't have to complain about getting jobs just only in Nigeria. You can work with international clients. Why do you think a lot of Nigerians are still struggling to find jobs? Can you just give us one reason why you feel like a lot of Nigerians are still struggling to find jobs?
Oh, okay. So, you know, I've been also opportune to work, to interview freelancers. I've been opportune to interview people looking for jobs, and not just that, I've also been, you know, basically managed job hunting for our companies at some point. So, and one thing I've noticed about a couple of CVs or resumes or applications we got generally from people from Nigeria is that they don't see job hunting as a job itself. To look for a job, it's actually a job, right? You have to be 100% invested in it for you to be able to get what you want. They are so careless. I don't want to generalize it, but a whole lot of them are actually careless when it comes to looking for a job. You have to create a time. You have to create like a timetable. Like, you have to bring out time when you're looking for a job. When you're job hunting, it's a job. You have to. I don't want to say you have to take it serious, because it looks like everybody's taking it serious, but they're not seeing it like it's actually a role to look for a job, you know? So looking at the couple of CVs, a couple of applications I've gotten, it was like a joke. I don't want to share exactly the things I saw, but it wasn't impressing. And as a Nigerian myself, when I saw that, I was kind of disappointed, you know, because when you're applying for a job, there's some certain things you're expected to do, and not just like expectations. I'm talking about instructions that were given on the job requirements. They couldn't even. Some people, it was stated there, use this as a subject of the mail. You know, and when they put that as in use this as a subject of the mail, it's possible a label has been created in that email that sends it directly to a particular folder where they are going to see your application, right? But they don't even do that. You see somebody sending you an email for a job and they are saying, I'm interested in this job. There's no resume or a CV attached to it. So I see all these things, and I'm not like, it's not encouraging at all, you know. So I think that's a part of it's something they need to work on.
Yeah, I mean it's appalling. I mean sometimes they use a generic cover letter. You see someone is applying for a social media role and it's having digital marketer or is having content creator. Maybe they just do the copy and paste. You need to work on that because that does not gives the first impression matters.
Each job application actually should have a particular cover letter. Like there is nothing like using the same cover letter for all the jobs. You have to create from the job description, you have to create your own cover letter for each job application, right?
Yeah, exactly. So our next question is, I mean, we all know that it is very, very easy for you to handle, like, for example, I'm going to use myself. Whenever I'm working, sometimes I don't even know the difference between, I'm always working. Once I'm not doing anything, I always want to go and work. We don't have that work-life balance sometimes. So how do you create that work-life balance, or what I would like to call work-life harmony? How do you balance your work and your personal life? And how do you handle stress and burnout in this, because it's easy for you to burn out, especially when you're working in multiple roles. So how do you handle stress and prevent burnout?
Actually, that's it. This is a topic we need to discuss generally as remote workers and also as virtual assistants, because there is every tendency that you're actually overworking and you don't have a work-life balance. So it's something you have to be very intentional about for you to be able to maintain that, right? So what I've come to at some point, how I do handle work-life balance is like, I will probably in a week, I will, write down what I have to do. I have like a task list for the week and make sure I'm not going past whatever I have, set out for that week. And aside that, I also try to go for vacations, like once in a while, try to leave the environment I'm actually working in. And even when I'm not going on vacations, I try to use other workspace, like move around, because you don't get to meet colleagues anymore when you're working remotely or you're working from home. You don't get to meet your colleagues, walk around and all those things. You might be stuck in a place for a whole month, once you have your house stocks, right? So I intentionally try to, bring in those things when I feel like, okay, I'm beginning to stress or, I'm beginning to experience burnout at any point. So I intentionally have it at the back of my mind that I have to avoid burnout, that comes with working, and also try to maintain work-life balance.
Yes, exactly. As a mom, as a working mom with kids, with family, and then with my job, it is easy for me to experience that stress and burnout. Sometimes it's from your family and then it rolls over. So one thing I'd like to advise any virtual assistant out there, if you are you're going through stress or experiencing burnout, please, for that moment, shut down your laptop.
Shut down your system.
Shut down your laptop.
Because you're not even going to be productive when you're stressed.
Exactly, when you're stressed. So please make sure to take care of yourself. My boss would say, you need to take care of yourself before you take care of me. You need to take care of yourself before you take care of my business. So make sure you always take care of yourself. And work would never stop.
Yeah.
If anything happens to you, someone else will replace you in less than 30 minutes. So you need to take care of yourself. You matter. You are more important. So whenever you start experiencing that burnout, please shut down
the system.
And like whatever it is, if it's music, you don't need to travel outside the country. You can just move. I can visit my friend's place. It helps me just to get out of out of the house and all of those stuff. So please make sure you look after yourself just as a Nigerian virtual assistant, as a virtual assistant generally, because it's easy for you to experience burnout. Okay, so our next question, and which is the final question that we would have for you is, what is your advice for anyone out there who's watching this YouTube series that wants to begin their virtual assistant career? What advice would you give to anyone out there who is looking to start their virtual assistant career?
Okay, so the advice I have to give, because the thing is, this thing is about passion. You have to be passionate about anything to be able to excel in it, right? So you have to sit down and think about why you actually want to be a virtual assistant or an executive assistant, or why you want to work remotely. Do you have answers for those things? So if you're able to come with answers, because, okay, I've not even talked about the fact that virtual assistants also have niche. Right? So when you're able to come up with these answers, it will help you niche down to know which part of it you're actually going to go into, right? So generally, I think you have to sit down with yourself and think of what you want to do, why you want to do these things, to be able to come up with these answers, and then it will help you move in the right directions. There are courses, you have to take a whole lot of courses. Like I said earlier, you have to be open-minded. When it comes to training, it never finishes. Like, you can wake up today and say there's another training for you to upskill, So it's something you have to constantly do to be able to move up with, move with the trends that we have, especially if you're into tech, right? So I would advise anybody that decides or is thinking of going into to become a virtual assistant is like, please train, upskill, learn, then put your whole mind. That's where the passion part of it comes in. So you have to put your whole mind into this thing for you to be able to excel in it.
Exactly. What is your why? Why do you want to become a virtual assistant? Once you write that down, that is what is going to keep you moving.
Motivated.
When it's hard, when it's tough, that why is what is going to keep you moving. And learning never stops. The day you stop learning is the day you die. Being the fact that we are in this part of the world, there are tools, there are trends, there are technologies that are coming out every day. You need to learn all of those tools, all of those techs. You need to, like network. You are not an island. Meet people.
Yeah.
Join communities. And if it's possible for you to get a mentor, anyone that is where you want to be.
Exactly.
I mean, they don't have to be big people like all of these celebrities, but you can get a virtual assistant mentor, someone who has been there where you want to be. Just, like, suck up to them, like, make your research, let them ask questions, meet with them. You can have coffee chats. LinkedIn has made everything easy.
Social media generally have made things easier.
Exactly.
And I also want to chip, you need to be proactive. Don't get a mentor and then you start asking them like
questions that you can easily research.
Yeah, so you need to be very proactive. There are some certain things like questions you have. First, go to YouTube, go to Google. There's Chat GTP. Like, you can ask those questions, and then when you don't come up with answers, then you can go to your mentors. But generally, as a virtual assistant, learn to be proactive. It's very important, and that's the one of the things that helps you get clients. When they discover that you're proactive, everybody wants to work with somebody that is going to make life easier for them, right? So these are the things that actually convinces them that, okay, I can work with this person, because before they even ask the question, you already have the answer because you've made your research previously. So that's what I wanted to add.
Yes, that is, I mean, you've said everything. There is nothing much to add. So we've actually come to the end of this series. But before we end the series, Jennifer, I would like for you to share with us, do you have any last words for our viewers out there, anyone who's watching the series right now?
Oh, okay. So I'm going to say, be open-minded, be willing to train, and be proactive. These things are going to help you, go far. Go far.
Yeah, and I'm going to add that if you want to succeed as a virtual assistant, make sure that you hone your soft skills, the communications, especially problem solving. Don't wait for your boss. You have to be proactive. All of those skills are going to help you to succeed because, I mean, there are lots of competition out there. So you need to be outstanding in the midst of those competitions. And on that note, I want to say thank you so much, Obianuju, for joining us today. It has been my pleasure. I mean, you've shared with us a lot of amazing things today. And I want to say thank you for joining this episode.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed, talking about, because this is one of the things I'm actually passionate about. So I love the fact I'm here and I really enjoyed talking about my passion. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notifications bell so you don't miss any of all our episodes. Make sure to follow us on our social media platforms as well, because we'll be sharing a lot of insights, a lot of information on our social media platforms, and also we'll be updating you on our community. We'll be starting a virtual assistant community and you wouldn't want to miss out on this first-hand information. And until next time, goodbye.